Facts. Red and blue, purple eye, red, red and blue, purple, like friends. Facts. You can get to know. Red and blue, purple eye, friends. Red and blue, purple line, friends. Facts. Red and blue, purple line, friends. Red and blue, purple, like friends. Facts. You can get to know the legend, sacrilege. Sunday to Melanin Monday. You can get to know the legend. My love, just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land, focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, I'm stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Hey. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours, peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Third Eye Fridays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar, in the building. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome. Welcome to the family. Greetings to everybody in the building. Happy Friday. You dig? We are here. All right, we are here. And that song that you just heard, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gods and goddesses, that is the Facts remix by the 44 Tops. You know what I'm talking about? 44 Tops in the building. Shout out to Blue Pillar. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that right there is the anthem. Okay, let's talk about that. You know what I mean? That's the anthem right there. That is available. The single is available. I have the link in the description right now on the YouTube, and for the Instagram family, the link is in the bio. You could go ahead and get that right now. Go ahead and download it, put it on your iTunes. That's you. You know what I'm saying? That's all you. Check that. Somebody said that they be singing that word for word in the whip. Yeah, I be having that on blast too. I might have to go get the Cadillac, you know what I'm saying? So I could really ride out in style, drive through the hood like a real uncle with the drop top, with the white walls blasting that Facts remix. But it's available. Go ahead and make that, put that in your archives, put that in your library. We have the album on the way, aka the EP is coming. And as you can see right here, we got the tour, the world tour is planned. We're going to be on the Sabi Islands in 2036. You know what I'm talking about? So make sure y'all pull up to the Third Eye Thursday Arena in 2034. Talk Black to Me convention. Wait, Wait a minute. Goldwater Stadium, my niggas, in 2042. We're gonna be lit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the 44 tops. We cooking, man. We cooking. Wait till y'all see what we have cooked up. Y'all gonna love it. If y'all love that song right there, you're gonna love the project that we got coming. In the meantime, between time, make sure you go to Bandzoogle, the same place where you could get the single. You could also get the hard copy of the 48 Pillars of Power. I see my brother Andre 360 was in the building. Shout out to the God. You know what I'm talking about? We have volume 1 of the 48 Pillars of Power, 12 songs, 12 tracks featuring the twin pillars, red and blue pillar, and featuring our good brother Andre 360, who definitely carried the whole project. He did his thing. He was shooting threes from mid court. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, that right there is available as well. The show is also sponsored by the Master Teacher series, the Mark125.com. The Mark125.com. We have our Master Teachers series, our collection, and it's doing very, very good. We have tote bags up there, t-shirts. I just did some tank tops today and whatnot. So yeah, that Bobby Hemmett, that's the hottest seller right there. We are restocked on that. That shit been going crazy. All right. And make sure you get that. If you are in an ATL tomorrow, we will have these live on deck right in the West End at Wadada's. Black Magic 363, Know the Ledge, and Wadada produce, introduce, and you know, we have the first annual Double Dutch Day mañana, tomorrow. All right, so make sure y'all are in the building. It starts 1 p.m. in the West End of Atlanta. Double Dutch Day. It is a family event. It is going to be an all-day event. We will have food in the building. We'll have music in the building. There's some Double Dutch in the building. Vendors in the building. It is going to be very fun. Make sure y'all pull up and come and party with us. It's not a party. It's a celebration. It is, you know, just it's a chill day. You know what I mean? It's a block party type of environment, you know. So pull up. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow in the West End at Wadada's. All right. Put that in your GPS if you don't know where it is. It is not hard to find. It is right there, right off of I-20. Okay. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do the roll call. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let us do the roll call. See who is in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Let's see who is in the building. You want to do, yeah, we're taking user-generated content. If you have a video singing a fax remix, send that to us. We will put that on our socials and whatnot. We will get that out there. You know what I mean? We will get that out there, you know? And we'll put that out there. We definitely want to see people enjoying themselves, because that is very important. Like I said on previous shows, I'm livicating, not dedicating, but I'm livicating that song to my KT aliens, the OG ones though, what they call the baby boomers. I'm livicating this sound to my OGs. You know what I mean? I know that y'all are kind of like, you know, they got y'all out here listening to Mary J. Blige and shit, and like thinking that that's R&B. No disrespect to her, but you know what it is. But we want y'all to, we want to tap into the memory, your memory. That's why we're doing Double Dutch Day. It's all about bringing back memory, you know what I mean, and speaking to that inner child and whatnot. And you know, that fax remix is reminding us of those days where our parents used to play that soul music and that love music and shit like that. So salute to y'all, you know what I mean, because that sound represents your energy, you know what I mean, and we respect y'all energy, because y'all could try to, I mean, the younger generation, y'all could stunt on the old heads. Y'all call them old elders, and you know, but they they like some of the glue that's holding this shit together. I'm very fearful of a world with niggas with just face tats and girls who are twerking all day. You know what I mean? Like I'm very fearful to exist in a world where, you know, it's only the younger generation. I don't think that y'all are gonna be able to hold the world together. You know, salute to the elders and and the older generation. You know what I'm saying? We got love for y'all. Salute to San Francisco, or they call it San Francisco. Oh my goodness. Philadelphia, peace to Philly, Bay Area in the building. New Bedford, yeah. Phoenix, we have Cheyenne, Cheyenne was Wyoming. All right, we have Tennessee in the building, Corona, Queens, and Portland. What up, Portland? Jacksonville, Florida, Duval, Mississippi, St. Croix up in this thing. What's going on, St. Croix? T Dot was popping. T Dot, how's that? San Jose Bay Area, Big East Side. You know I'm talking about? Sacramento, East Orange, New Jersey, Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. Harlem in the building, 415. All right. New Orleans. Somebody said the new generation done crashed out. It's literally the crash out generation. Ireland, East Flatbush, Arizona, Chicago. You know what I mean? We in the building. Yeah, the family is out here. Is this Labor Day weekend? I don't know. I promise y'all. I'm doing bad on time. I'm doing bad on days. Somebody had to remind me yesterday that it was Thursday. I was like, really? You know what I mean? I'm just, the days don't exist to me that much anymore. And I'm trying to cope in this. I'm trying to cope in this world that we are in. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be human along with y'all and whatnot. And it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. Shout out to the Instagram family. Clayton, North Carolina. Y'all are real quiet over there on the gram. The gram is used to seeing people's face. If they just hearing you, they're not like YouTube. They want to see your face. They want to stare at you and whatnot. So I get you. But yeah, not this time. Brownsville in the building. Massachusetts in the building. All right. Montreal in the building. Okay now. You dig? VA in the building. I've been getting my jump rope on. That's right. Okay. Breaking out the dusting off the jump rope and whatnot. Getting him back into the swing of things. I'm feeling that. You know what I'm saying? I'm understanding what you're doing. H-Town. I was just in H-Town. Shout out to Houston. I should be back there very soon. Shout out to Houston. What's going on with Houston? I want to talk to some Houstonians and whatnot. You know, what's going on? I just want to take the temperature of Houston. You know what I'm saying? I go out there, but I don't really be out there. I got peoples out there, you know. Shout out to Pop Darby, Talik, and a few other people running, you know, doing their thing and whatnot. But I want to do a little bit of research on the Houston area just in case I might decide to, you know, venture forth down there and whatnot. Brooklyn in the building. Who funded Invest? What do you mean by who funded Invest? And why would you ask me? Do you think I know who funded Invest? I don't. You think you saying Invest Fest? I don't know. They had a lot of sponsors. You know, I seen a lot of sponsors. I seen Blackwater, or what is that? BlackRock. I seen Black Lives Matter, nigga. They got all kind of crazy money coming in there. So you would have to inbox the people who are still probably counting their money from that event, and it's definitely not me. New Hampshire in the building, Salt Lake City in the building, Oakland in the building. All right. So yeah, we up in this thing. Shout out to everybody up in this thing. Yo, the hate train for the Invest Fest and EYL. Oh, that shit has left the motherfucking station. I went down the hate rabbit hole the other day. Oh my goodness. These niggas have it out for Troy and Rashad, boy. Lord have mercy. I didn't know they had so much hate out there. But yeah, they was talking crazy. You know what I mean? They was talking crazy. I'd seen at least 3 shows. You know, I seen at least 3 shows, man. You know, they want them niggas not to have it no more. They just want them to go back to being regular niggas. You know what I mean? They just want them to go back to being humble, broke cats, I guess. I don't know, because you know that train has left the station. I don't, you know, what you know, because there was a lot of when they started out in 2020, they were like this and they were like that and they were like this, and I'm like, True. A lot of people started out with humble beginnings and they were like this and they were like that. You know, I've spoke about the change that I've seen. You know, I think that they're tagging them as like, you know, similar to like a boule type of thing because, you know, there's a change of guard in black elite, you know, like the puffy shit, they removed old, they removing the old folks, like they're getting rid of the old guard, like they're getting rid of the old players and they're replacing them with new players. And those new players, you know, they're not hard to find. You dig? They're not hard to find. You know, those new players, they're right in front of you. They're literally making them on social media right in front of your faces. Charlemagne the God, the nigga Terrence J from 106. And what the fuck is he doing? You know what I'm talking about? Like, you know, all of these dudes. So I don't do the celebrity shit. Like I don't do the celebrity, sir. I really can't stand celebrities. I don't really I'm not really, I don't like rappers that much. You know, I don't like the entertainment industry. I think all of them are highly sus and they don't do nothing for me. You know what I mean? They don't play no parts in anything that we're doing. You know, it's very fraternal. I don't need to chase behind none of that acceptance shit because I've accepted myself. You know, I'm lit to myself, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Like I don't, you know, but what the hell do I look like pointing fingers at what somebody else is doing though? That's when shit get weird. Like what anybody else is doing, how whatever makes their boat float and how they decide to give it up. And you know, some people are enamored by celebrities. I'm not enamored by no damn celebrities. You know, it just doesn't. That's not how I'm not running around taking pictures with celebrities. But you know, it is what it is. Like, you know, salute to whatever direction, you know, any of these any of these influencers and any of these brands are doing. Man, it is, you know, it's their choice. It's their choice. You know, I told the brother when I seen him that I'm proud of him. You know what I mean? And I stand on that. You know what I'm saying? Because they doing what they got to do. You know, they doing what they got to do, and they link up with who they want to link up with. That's on them. You know what I'm saying? But all of that, and I told people before when it came to the Invest Fest, I said, you know, if you can afford it, you feel me? There's businesses out here, they can afford the ticket. If you can afford it, pull up, you know? Shit. Because let me tell you something. When I went to Houston and I sat down with my daughter and I was like, yo, I want you to be one of those young entrepreneurs. You know what I mean? And if anybody is out there and you have a child who is like, you know, gifted, you have children who are gifted, they have some type of you know, they have a sellable, you know, they have items or they have a sellable personality. You know, my $1,000,000 question, right? My $1,000,000 question is what venue? Somebody said Invest Fest was a celebrity fest. Let's be honest. Yeah, it was. I just told you. I just said that they went Holly, you know, this shit is going, it's a new, there's a new industry that has formed right before your very own eyes. There's a new black excellence, or what they may call it. You call it Celebrity Fest. I call it the new black excellence or the new elitism or the new boule. That's what you're seeing. That's what has happened right before your very all of these niggas linked up and they became the new quote unquote celebrities. And that's what you're seeing. Like, but when they all come together and form Voltron, it's at InvestFest. So that's where you go to see what that shit looks like, what it's feeling like, and what it's doing. And I went there. I only went there for one day, and I didn't necessarily, I saw what I needed to see, and I was out because I didn't have too much economic business in there. Now, if I had economic business, if I had a booth where if I was invested, right, at the InvestFest, if I spent thousands of dollars, then I would have been standing right there doing my business, not worrying about nothing else but my business. Because that's all that matters at the end of the day. It's called InvestFest. I'm there to do business. And when I walk through them buildings, people want to take pictures. They treating me like a fucking celebrity. You know what I'm talking about? They want to take pictures. They want to hug me. They want to talk. They want to do all of these things. I don't consider myself a celebrity. I don't move like a celebrity. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you could catch me on a train in New York City. I'm not full of myself. I'm a regular person doing God's work. But when it comes to the children, I would have wanted my daughter to walk in a fucking convention center with 20,000 people and 30,000 people dressed up, even though there was some fuckery taking place. But that's not an indictment. That's an indictment on niggas. That's an indictment on the culture. Okay? The culture is backwards, upside down, and full of shit at the end of the day. It's not an indictment on individuals for what they, put together. Now, the security was kind of lax. Yeah, I'm talking about, I'm in Atlanta. We in Atlanta. I'm used to seeing dudes with blickies and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't have that. But it don't bother me because I'm not scary. I don't. It didn't bother. I wasn't looking for security. I don't feel threatened, my niggas. You know what I mean? Niggas walk around with guns like it's clothes in Atlanta. My barber has 2 blicks. He cuts my hair with 2 hammers and whatnot. Regular people walk around armed and whatnot. So I'm kind of used to that. You know what I mean? I'm kind of used to that. So, but they wasn't walking around with guns and shit inside of the event. But somebody did get stuck up. I'm just, put it out there. They juked one of the vendors. One of the vendors got juked, y'all. One of the vendors got stuck up for some fake jewelry. I think it was the fake diamond, the Mosenites. I think they caught a lick. You know what I mean? But this is Atlanta, 2024. You feel me? Niggas is hungry. They out here catching licks. You know what I mean? It is what it is. They out here catching niggas. It can happen anywhere. But going back to what I was saying a minute ago, I need somewhere where my children could get on some type of business and feel safe and feel appreciated and basically be supported by people that look like them. I don't want to take my daughter to some goddamn redneck picnic or, I don't have to take her around European festivals in order for her to be supported and whatnot. So my whole mind state is kind of different from the average person. I'm going to events and I'm seeing what is more, what's healthy for my children. Because they're slowly entering into the fields of entrepreneurism, all 3 of them. So I'm looking around to see what environments are conducive to a young entrepreneur. What stages are safe? What crowds and what audiences are good and healthy for my children? Now, the fact that somebody got stuck up, it was like 405. I never heard of no shit like that before, just for the record. I never heard of no shit like that. Even at Negro events, like I never heard of no shit like that before. Even at like a trap rapper concert, niggas never stuck up the merch. I never heard of no shit like that. I never heard of the bar getting jukes. I never heard of the motherfucking fake jewelry people getting jukes. This is some new shit, okay? But it's just giving you a understanding of how thirsty the streets are. The streets is thirsty. Yes, the streets is thirsty. Niggas is they outside. You gotta move a little different. You know what I'm saying? You gotta move a little different. You said they robbing crystals now. Now I heard it was the fake jewelry. They they got the Mosenites. That shit look like bling bling. I don't look. I'm looking for the close caption television footage as much as you do. I don't like looking at too many videos of shit going down, but I think I might want to see how that one went down because it's different. It's different. Not even in New York. No, yo, I did never see nobody get laid down on the job. Like vending, nah, that's a new one. This is a new heights that we're reaching. It's a new low. You know what I'm talking about? This is a new low. If anybody gets the footage, please pass that along to me. You know what I mean? But they covered that shit up. Nobody knew about it. You know, they told me that they my alibi, I was in Houston. They can't blame me for doing anything. I didn't line a nigga up. But it was told to me that after that, security was tightening up. You know what I'm saying? Security was tightening up, and they was like asking, people they were checking wristbands. The security got a little tightened after that. But it wasn't like they got on the loudspeaker and was like, yo, they laid a nigga down. Code red. They didn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because 50 Cent, I'm sure they paid 50 Cent ahead of time. And they paid all of these celebrity niggas. So they had to make sure that they got their money's worth. They wasn't finna fuck up the bag. They wasn't finna fuck up the bag. Now you already know next year is gonna be like the Pentagon security. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like, they're gonna be deep up in that bitch. They're gonna be biometrics. They're gonna be scanning your eyeballs. And I don't know if I want to be into all of that. You know what I mean? It's like, nigga activities, man. You know what I'm saying? We were having a conversation on the last show about the state of the culture. And we were declaring the culture being dead. Like the culture is on its deathbed. It's in hospice. And this right here just showed me, yeah, this is really in hospice. Like you really got to be on some nigga shit. And I was in the building on Friday, and it wasn't a lot of nigga shit activity. Like I'm perplexed as to who would do something like that, because the overall vibe and the overall feeling was like, we are family. I got all my sister and me. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like family. Like it wasn't it wasn't like the gathering of the masters type of family vibes, but it felt like everybody was standing on business. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, it went down. Regardless of any of that, even with Kamala running for president, niggas is getting juked at the Invest Fest. You know what I'm saying? For Mosenites. For the Mosenites. Imagine if they had to pop off the blicky and whatnot. That'd have been a stampede. Yeah, that's kind of crazy and whatnot. So that's just giving you an idea. I'm giving you the temperature of nigganomics in Atlanta right now. The nigganomics in Atlanta right now is teetering on high levels of thirst. It's on high levels of thirst. These niggas is out here eyeballing the copper that I'm wearing. They that thirsty. They eyeballing the copper. They think it's red gold. I'm like, family, you all right? I'm hitting them with the Bobby Hemmett. Y'all all right? You know what I'm talking about? Y'all all right? Y'all niggas is y'all inside of the vegan spot eyeballing the copper. Y'all that hungry? What we doing? I could take on 3 of y'all. What we doing? Like, yeah, they outside. They got perky addictions, little YSL Woody looking ass niggas. They got mushroom addictions. They got perky addictions. Niggas is late on the rent. You know what I mean? They late on the Hellcat card note. So you gotta move wisely in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, these niggas is on Percocets percolating. But guess what? I walk with Jesus. I walk with Yahweh and Yeshua. So, who God bless, no man a curse. Shit happens, but it be like right around the corner from me. It doesn't really affect me. I'm just here to report on it. But I didn't feel no type of way. You know what I'm saying? We moving differently. I tried to explain that to somebody the other day. Like, niggas is moving differently. I'm not affected by the negativity in the world. And I really am not going to suscept myself to any of that. Still in all. You gotta move wisely, you gotta move carefully, and you gotta move dangerously sometimes. You gotta move dangerously sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because I keep my shit on swivel and whatnot. And it's all peace with me. You know what I mean? I'm on my tree hugging shit. I'm outside. I really am. I'm not looking for no problems. But if a nigga has, if somebody pulls up if they pull up with one, then we are gonna we on that time. You know what I'm saying? We are on that time. I'm gonna give them what they looking for. You know what I mean? Because I gotta make it home to the little ones. You feel me? But you know, I'm pro any type of event that brings together the entrepreneurial spirit amongst us. We need more of that. I remember they had a We Buy Black convention. Who remembers the We Buy Black? To be honest with you, We Buy Black was the Invest Fest before the Invest Fest. Who remembers that? It was out of Atlanta. It was around 2018, 2019, I believe. Liddington. It was big. It was a big convention, a lot of vendors, positivity, black business, and then COVID happened, and we ain't hear about that afterwards. So they got the natural hair show. We need more of that. We need more of that. Yeah, We Buy Black was huge. What happened to them? They was selling remember the black toothpaste? They had the fabric softener. You know what I'm saying? The toilet paper. They was doing good. They was doing good. You know? So, you know, sometimes people karma is not right. When your karma is not right, shit happens to you. God bless whoever that situation happened to at the Invest Fest. You know, to keep it a Buckington, you know what I mean? I mean, you know, I would have, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, you know, I'm on a ledge when I say this, but you know, there may be some hush money involved. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think they might have been compensated, you know, on some player shit, some boss type shit. Cause if I, you know, on some boss hog shit, I'd have been like, you know what? Y'all got jukes at my event. Here's 10 bands type shit. Player shit. Here's 10 bands, you know, on the Cash App. Bloop, bloop. You know what I mean? Or on an Apple Pay. I would have just hit him with 10 bands and just was like, you know what? Y'all, you know, next year you free. How about that? We're gonna give you the little booth with the security card, with the security guard that come with it. You know what I'm saying? And give them the free play. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is. We gotta, you know what I mean? But if money ain't a thing, because people be outside counting niggas' pockets like everybody is hurting. Let me tell you something. Everybody's not hurting. $300 is like $30 to some people. Stop counting everybody's money. They spend $300 on a fucking wig, bro. Where you been? $300. I went and bought my son some sneakers. Yo, I'm ready to boycott Nike. Why are they selling children's sneakers for $80? Like, what are we doing? Y'all want to talk about the tickets at the Invest Fest? Why are they selling sneakers for $80 to $100? They got New Balance. My son is 4 years old. They got New Balance in Foot Locker for $80. Y'all want to talk about these? You want to talk about our people selling tickets? Nigga, what about Foot Locker? What about the fact that Nike want $150 and up for some damn what they call tennis shoes? Like, people are spending $300 on sneakers. They're spending $300 on Uber Eats. They're spending $300 on their weed habit. They're spending $300 on a bottle in a club. Do you know how much the motherfucking Ace of Spades is? So they worried about the wrong. These niggas is out here counting other people's money, and I don't come from that. I don't know about that. I don't come from that world. I don't get involved in shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Get your ones up. That's where I come from. Get your fucking ones up. Or get on your, because I'm a magician. You know, I walk through shit. I walk, if I gotta go into a venue, I'm going to go into the venue, and I don't buy no tickets. How about that? I'm from Brooklyn. You know, our willpower opens up mad doors. How about that? Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Brooklyn willpower, nigga. I walked in Jay-Z concerts. If I'm lying, I'm flying. I promise you. I walked into Jay-Z concerts, sold out, no ticket, nigga. Nothing with my face card. Dead ass. With my face card. Because I'm from the town, nigga. I'm from the tunnel era. No, we not bum rushing no doors. I'm not no bum ass nigga. But in the word bum rush is bum. We walk right through the door like we belong there. That's what we do. I can't say for nobody else. It's the willpower. I'm a magician. You know what I'm saying? And I'm out here telling y'all my secrets, but you know, whatever. It's my network. I'm a fucking wizard. I'm like, yo, I will be there. And when I say that, that's what I'm going to do. There's nothing that's going to stop me from going where I need to go. I done got on planes without a ticket. Y'all might not believe me, but trust me. You know what I'm saying? Trust me when I tell you. I done got on planes without a goddamn ticket, bro. You know what I mean? It's called a Brooklyn nigga's willpower. There's nothing that I seen that could stop the willpower of a Brooklynite. You know what I mean? We built a lot differently than anybody that I've ever come across on this planet. The Nigerians is trying to keep up with us, and they not fucking with us. A Brooklyn nigga, we just built differently. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's in the water. I don't know if it was something in the air, but we move a lot differently. There would be no Atlanta without Brooklyn. How about that? I'm going out there. Where's young, what's his name? Little Yachty was talking greasy about Atlanta niggas or the people in the South and they fashion. And I was like, you know what? I'm too mature for these conversations, but bro, what are you smoking? Are you fucking dumb, nigga? Do you know what we did to the South? Do you know what we did to the South? Come on now. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. The fuck? You know what we did to the South? We from the South, though. You know what I mean? We not gonna stunt. Most people from Brooklyn got ancestry going all the way back to the Carolinas, going all the way back to Georgia. You know what I mean? Ray Daniels, ain't he from New York? Like, nobody in Atlanta who got an industry check should have any fucking thing to say, because the Atlanta hip hop movement was funded by New York. Let's be clear. Shakir Stewart had to get niggas signed in New York. Let's be clear. And prior to that, when everybody was on Big Meech bandwagon, right? Before he killed Wolf, New York was in Atlanta running shit, teaching niggas how to dress and whatnot. Nah, take that off, son. Put this on. Fuck is you doing? You know what I mean? Take off the overalls, my nigga, and put this on. Let's keep it a buck. I'm not here to play no type of games with none of these. Like, I'm offended. I don't even, what year was Little Yachty born? While you was swimming in your dad's scrotum, nigga, we was laying this shit down in the South for real. Like, leveling up the whole fucking South. We brought gifts back. Our grandparents ran to the big cities and whatnot. They got chased out by the KKK, and we came and brought the drip back to you niggas. How about that? Let's keep it a buck. Because they talk crazy now because they got Young Thug and they got music and shit like that. But even with that, look at the management behind the TIs of the world. Look at the teams that behind these people. This is New York. The fuck? Like, let's not even do that. Deborah, what's her name? Waka Flocka Moms. She came to Atlanta and she was creating stars. Miss Deb. She's from New York. What are we doing? Go and look at the early videos. Go look at early Gucci Man. You talking about niggas could dress? What are you talking about? He had slugs in his mouth. What are we doing? He had the middle of the mall jewelry on. What happened? I remember when Cash Money came to New York City and they was wearing middle of the mall jewelry. And niggas had to take them to Jacobs. What are we doing? Like, what happened? Let's not go there. Let's not do that. Respectfully. I ain't say nothing about Bimmy. I don't even know, homie. But let's not do that. You know, respectfully. You know what I mean? And then 106 in Park came out, and then the internet came out. So you can't even, after that, you really can't. The game got convoluted after that. Everybody started dressing like everybody else because of 106 in Park. And then it pivoted into like MySpace and then like social media. And you niggas got Instagram with pictures. And now all of this madness started. But prior to that, people were dressing regionally. Remember the Jabos and the fucking Reeboks in New Orleans? Yeah, what is that? Like, we didn't do none of that. Well, what the fuck is that? We wasn't wearing straps on our pants. Niggas was wearing parasucos. You know? Like, what are we doing? That wasn't no drip, nigga. That wasn't no drip. You can't come and talk to us about you was putting it down and you was wearing your bros with straps on it. No, fam. What are you doing? Like, you sit this one out. Let's pull up the Goody Mob videos. What the fuck were they wearing? What was Andre 3000 and CeeLo Green wearing when they were talking about the South got something to say? Like, we was wearing Columbia. You know what I mean? We was wearing whiz bangs. We was wearing Saucony's and Asics, nigga. We was in Patagonia. Y'all niggas just started learning about skiing recently. We was in Patagonia, bro. Like in the 80s, we was wearing ski wear and we wasn't skiing nowhere. We was wearing ski goggles, nigga, and we didn't have no fucking ski resorts around us. Nigga, what are you talking about? Y'all just getting on Timberland. So I'm with all of that. Yeah, they had Goody Mob they was wearing shit out of it looked like they was on Goodwill time. Yeah, so they brought back they brought the Goodwill look in. Cool. You stand on that. You stand on that. They was wearing Goodwill shit back then. Big Rube, my nigga Gip. And then Andre 3000 and them was wearing blouses. Okay? Blouses. And we wasn't wearing that in the town, nigga. It wasn't on that. You would get your shit pushed back if you came outside wearing a blouse back in New York before the towers fell. Now, after the towers fell, y'all could have this New York City shit. That has nothing to do with me. I'm not a part of that era. I don't identify with anything post 9/11 in New York City. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I gave, you know what I'm saying? I think I left New York after that. That's when I hit the road, nigga. That's when I went to Atlanta and other places. So no, matter of fact, I just came back from Atlanta in 2001. I was in Atlanta from 1997 to the year 2000. I didn't see a lot of y'all out here. Just to be clear, I didn't see a lot of y'all out here. And that was when the South was really lit. Because it didn't have an ego like that. That was a very fun time in Atlanta. Let me remind you, 1997, 98, 99, 2000, litty. It was litty out here. It was a very fun place to be and whatnot. It wasn't violent. It wasn't full of murdering. It wasn't thirsty. You know what I'm saying? The women out here, you know, they was respected. Shit done changed. You know? Patagonia. That's that old New York. You know, when did I move to California? No, Blue Pill had moved to California. I ain't never left I never went to California. I visited, but I didn't live out there. Triple Fat Gooses. Yeah, well, triple Fat Gooses. That was kind of like, you was a bum ass nigga if you had a triple fat though. That wasn't triple fat was like, the shit was Goodwill back then. You know, Shirt Kings. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't really jacking FUBU. We was doing platinum FUBU a little bit. I was, you know, I was wearing platinum FUBU because I was down south. They was clowning me in the town and whatnot. No, nigga, let's be clear. Polo, Ralph Lauren, okay? So we don't have to go all around the place. Polo, okay? Polo, Hilfiger, Nautica, Pele Leathers, Timberlands, Averex. The iceberg was for the niggas who had money like that. The iceberg is 94, 95. That's the tunnel era. That was Jay-Z and them niggas. You know what I'm saying? A typical iceberg was $400 and up. And I was a booster. So you know I was motherfucking iceberg history to the toe. To the tippy toe. Yeah, North Face, Columbia's. Who remembers the Columbia's? Okay, so that's New York right there. Let's not get it confused with mad different clothing lines. Because when all of that shit like a Nietzsche and all of that Echo, Mark Echo and all of that's later on the black brands and you know, yeah. That was like, you know how girlfriends be going over to their boyfriend's house and they wear the boyfriend shirt. That was like boyfriend shirt clothes, nigga. That was not flossing clothes. It didn't have a big enough price tag. You have to keep in mind, these are poor niggas wearing expensive clothes that they did not buy. Understand what New York is about, right? I can't speak for New York nowadays because that's not the New York that I come from. New York that I come from was poor kids from the hood wearing expensive clothes that they did not buy. And a mama did not buy it. You would not get no plus. You didn't get, if you said your mama bought your polo, you're going to get, I'm talking about not a universal beatdown. You're going to get knocked out. Fuck a beatdown. You getting knocked out. You going to sleep. Mike Tyson's knockout, nigga. And then they're going to strip you bare because nobody is going to talk. Your mama could not take you to the store to buy these clothes. That wasn't the appeal. The appeal was you got these clothes in nefarious ways. That's what New York was about. You couldn't go to the store and buy no damn polo. These niggas is out here buying polo on the internet, talking about their low lives and everything. A low life is a booster. It's not somebody that wears polo. You know what I mean? They out here cosplaying criminals. Okay? Them niggas was criminals. They're not, them dudes on the internet wearing polo, they faces look too clean. They look too square. Those are not low lives. The low lives look scary. Okay? And keep it a buck. Those were criminals. They would fucking stab you. Okay? They was really low lives. So I don't know who these dudes on the internet is right now, but that's not the real low lives. A lot of them is up north and you know and sleeping and yeah, and the Deceps was against the Deceps was like the anti, you know, they was like how dogs chase cats. That's how they was on the low lives. You know what I mean? The Deceps are not boosters. They would take, so the Deceps become the stick-up kids, right? The Deceps become the stick-up kids, and they become the shooters, and they become like the, you know, they become the murder gang and later on and whatnot, and they become the Bloods. Let's be clear, they become the Bloods. The low lives, they become the hustlers, they become the scammers, and they become the drug dealers, and they become, some of them become stick-up kids as well. Right? That's how people evolved through it turned from the crew, and they become Crips, big Crips. A lot of the Crips and some of the Bloods, because Albany, All Bloody is All Bloods. That's Sport Low and all of them. Shout out to Sport. But yeah, they you know, that's when the Bloods took over from 93 to like 97. That's the ending of that era. So if you see any movies come out and it's the coming of age and they're talking about the 90s in New York, just make sure the timeline is correct. We begin to phase out from posses, right, into gangs and whatnot. And these are not New York based gangs. They running behind that LA shit. Then they start running behind that Chicago shit. It's not New York. That's not authentic. Okay. It's not authentic. So they running around trying to be something that they're not when they already had everything that they needed. That's why I say post 9/11 New York is a New York that I'm unfamiliar with. That's not, I came back from Atlanta August 28th, 2001. They let me off of the goddamn the up north bus. You know what I mean? I had my state clothes on. Blue Pill come and pick me up. He was in the whip with KT. A few days later, the towers fell, and the New York that I knew was officially in the fucking rubble. It was buried. It was done. It was over with. That was the ending of a chapter, and it was a new New York after that. And this new New York is a very weird New York that has turned into Gotham City. You know what I mean? And, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I was doing Helly Hansen, North Face ski pants. Yeah. No, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. North Face or Columbia? That's what I would ask a real New Yorker. What would you rather, a North Face or Columbia? A real New Yorker is going to go with the Columbias. Why? Because it's more colorful and it's more rare than the North. Everybody got North Face. Everybody didn't have Columbias. No. Aaliyah died before 9/11, and so did Princess Diana. Remember, it was a trilogy. It was a 3-pronged attack on people's hearts and minds. That's what numbed out the whole world. Princess Diana, Queen Aaliyah, right? She was Queen Akasha in the interview in the Vampire the Lestat series. Aaliyah died before 9/11 because when 9/11 happened, everybody who was melanated was already broken. We was already hurt. We were numbed out. So the Aaliyah shit was already hurting us. So when 9/11 happened, people were so hurt and they were so broken that that shit didn't even affect them like that. They didn't even have time to mourn because we were already into mourning. We were already mourning over the queen. You know what I'm saying? And then Lisa Left Eye died in 2002. Yes. You feel me? So Lisa Left Eye was after the towers. Aaliyah was 2 weeks before 9/11. And then the movie came out where you saw that they ritualistically killed her. What movie have you ever seen where the woman dies in the middle of the movie? Like they ritualistically killed her in Queen of the Damned, like in the beginning of the movie, and the way that they killed her was crazy. That shit was speaking to my. It was a complete turn off. I had to turn the fucking VHS tape off, and I went and cried, bro, because I wasn't even what you would consider. I was nowhere near the consciousness that I am. I was woke back then. I was considered woke. But even in my wokeness, I knew what the fuck I was looking at. I knew that I was looking at a straight ritual. I was like, oh, hell to the nah. Nigga, Lestat, get up off of her. Get Lestat off of her. Get Lestat off of her. And the way that whatever camera they shot it in, the way that they edited it, it was just mad ritualistic. And I was like, damn, because Aaliyah was leaning very heavy into Kemet. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. This is 2001 we talking about. So imagine if the biggest star on the planet, there was no Beyonce back then. Okay, let's be clear, young whippersnappers, because y'all be getting the timelines fucked up. I think it's the Percocets. You know what I mean? And the lean. You niggas is in y'all getting a Mandela effect. Y'all be getting the timelines messed up. But there was no I mean, even Whitney Houston was on she was on like she was sitting on a bench. There wasn't no, was it fucking Maya? Like who was lit? Who was lit? It wasn't no goddamn, and even Destiny's Child. Somebody Google what was the year the Case had it in the video. For all of my thirsty young niggas, it was the video with Case when Beyonce was his bride. That was the video that made Beyonce a fucking a target for every young nigga to want to take down. Cause prior to that, she was just a girl with the braids and the baby teeth. You know what I mean? She was like, all right, she cool. But she niggas would have popped a balloon on her if she started talking. She was when she was young Beyonce, she would have walked through one of them dating shows and niggas would have stopped popping the balloon the minute she said howdy. Howdy. Pop, 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 pop. What do you like doing for fun time? I like riding pop, 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 pop. They would have popped on her. You know what I mean? They would have popped on her. She wasn't. It was that video with Case. Niggas was like, whoa, look at Shorty. My goodness. Is that the girl to be with Kelly? You know what I mean? Yeah, happily ever after, right? I'm saying LaToya, you remember LaToya Luckett? They had to dash way with her. They had to dash way with her. So yeah, 1999. And Jay got on, the nigga Jay-Z was on that. And so by time 2001 came, I think the Blueprint, or maybe a little while after that, he was cuffing her because he knew. So this was like, you know, I'm sure Aaliyah was in the crib watching BT and saw her in the Case video and she, oh, this bitch is coming. Oh shit, Shorty is coming with the baby teeth. She about to turn up. But nothing, I repeat, nothing, not a thing was fucking with young Aaliyah around that time. Now, Aaliyah with the hair over her one eye, Aaliyah with the boxes and the baggy heel figure, man, that was her. She was her. And you know, she was dating all of these niggas at Rockefeller. You know the rumors. It ain't even a rumor. She was with Dame Dash, but according to Wendy Williams, she was with Jay-Z. So it was a lot of shit going on. Romeo Must Die. And then I heard DMX was trying to growl at her. You know what I'm talking about? Yo, Khalees was a problem back then. I remember that. I'm gonna keep my stories to myself, but Khalees was a problem back then too. Okay, she was a problem. All right. So when Aaliyah left, we was crushed. We haven't really recovered. You know, we trying to fill a void and whatnot. And then when Left Eye left, it was even more of a void that hurt us even more because, damn, Left Eye? You feel me? Like Left Eye? That hurt, bro. That hurt. Left Eye was she was so on the edge and whatnot. She had this immortal type of energy. Like nothing can happen to, she's out here burning houses down. She's on death row, nigga. This is Left Eye. You know? We was left with Whitney and Bobby, you know? They left us with Whitney. I don't know what happened to Maya. Yeah, the album Supernova, which if y'all want to do your internet sleuthing, if you want to do the internet homework, if you go to her album Supernova, that never really came out, right? I don't know if it came out or if it didn't, but if you look at the linear notes and you see the name K. Thomas, that's Kamani Thomas. And Kamani Thomas is KT the Arch degree, my younger brother, right? My little brother, KT the Arch degree. He literally was in high school and he was writing. He became a songwriter. I was very proud of my younger brother, bro. You know me though. You know, this is like I said, this was back in the days. I was in Atlanta around that time. This was 2000. I'm a young, thirsty nigga. You feel me? It's 24 years ago. I was outside, like I was out there, bro. I was not I mean, if y'all ran across me then, you wouldn't even like I gotta go visit myself from the future back in 2000 and go whisper in my ear and be like, nigga, you have no idea what is about to happen to you. But I was toxic. Let's just say that. I was outside and I was toxic. So KT did not honor my request to go and meet Left Eye. He did not. I was like, I'm coming with you. And he was like, nah, you're not. I was like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? I'm the big brother. I'm like, nigga, I'm going with you. He was like, no, you're not. You're not going with me. I'm going to see Left Eye by myself. So I tried to do that about 3 times and he didn't let that shit happen. So I just gave up. You know what I mean? But I was thirsting. Cause he knew what I was about to do. You know what I'm talking about? He knew the thirst. He knew that the thirst was in me. So he kind of saved me and her because I was about to crash out. You feel me? I was about to crash out. We wasn't going to get no songwriting. I was finna crash out. You know? I was going to crash out. You know what I mean? But either him, I think Sabi might have even gave him the word, like, do not bring that nigga with you. Leave him right there on Moreland Avenue. And he did just that. And, he got 4 songs on her album, like 4 or 5 songs on her album. You know what I'm saying? Like, he made me super proud of him. I didn't even know shit like that could even happen back in those days. I was like, that's crazy. Okay, that all right. I wasn't even making music. I was like writing and shit and recording myself in the crib. We used to have ciphers, but I didn't have no music done. I don't even think I was in a booth yet. You know what I mean? And KT, he did his thing. He locked in with her. He wrote for her. She loved her some KT. You know what I mean? She loved her some KT, and and it is what it is, you know what I mean? So I'm sure that whole situation affected him more profoundly than it affected me, the loss of this young lady, because he had an affinity towards her. I just knew of her. I didn't necessarily know her like that. I wasn't, we wasn't locked in like that. You know what I mean? We didn't smoke a blunt together. But I always knew. I was like, you know what? Because like I said, Aaliyah was my wife. Aaliyah was my wife. Somebody said I'm Sticky Fingers from Onyx. What the hell? What are we doing? Sticky Fingers was that guy though. Let me remind. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but back in my days, Sticky Fingers was him for a minute. So like, yeah, I was married to Aaliyah. So then when the Aaliyah thing didn't work out, I was married to Left Eye. She didn't know this yet, but she was finna find out when we met up that you my wife. So she was like, I don't want to say that she was my second wife, but in the balloon popping show, she was just one of the ones holding the balloon. You know what I'm talking about? And I was wifey. So losing her, you was with Alicia? Yeah. I was with Alicia, but then one of my dudes, Preston, he was in her video and whatnot. So I divorced her and I was like, you can have Preston. I'm good. You know what I mean? I kept it moving and whatnot. But yes, left eye, she was definitely wifey. So yeah, I was affected, but not in the same way as somebody who literally was locked in with her, you know, was locked in with her. But yeah, man, you know, those was the days. What you mean you was with Doja Cat? Yo, who remember I got put on the Doja Cat by one of my sneaky links, and I'm not gonna say her name. This was way back in the days. She put me on the Doja Cat when Doja Cat had a video where she was in all blue. She was a Hindu goddess. Who remember that? Let's talk about that. Who remember early Doja Cat? I'm talking 2004. No, 14. Is Doja Cat used to be conscious? Yes. She was yo, the video was fire. She had 8 arms, my nigga. She was latch me. Huh? She was latch me. Okay. Oh, the video was called High. I gotta go see that again. Cause that's gonna bring back memories. That was fire. And then she kind of like she popped back up with that moo shit. You know what I mean? She popped back up with the moo shit. Yeah, somebody said both of your wives left here. Yeah, they gonna prepare a better place. So getting ready for me when I get there. That's what had happened. My attraction to them was so high that they was like, you know what? Let's go to a higher realm and just get the plenty of mansions ready for daddy. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. You know, it's hell on earth. You know what I'm talking about? So they had to get up out of here. You know, it's hell on earth. They couldn't be here for too long. This place is too low frequency for such high frequency beings. So people don't really die, they transition, meaning that the frequency rises and they go to one of the 7 heavens and whatnot. They're not dying, they're elevating, and they're getting the fuck up out of this sunken place. This is not a desirable place. If you read the news this week, you would realize that this is not the 7th of the heavens. People are actually elevating. That's why they be like, why the good die young? Because they're doing their fucking shadow work. That's why. What are you talking about? The good. Why does the good ascend? Why are they ascending? Right? That it helps you see things differently. Some people are ascending, but then there's some people that descend to a lower rung of what they call planes of existence. The Venezuela gangs is taking over. Hey, you know what? The chickens are coming home to roost. If you melanated and you get involved with the fucking Venezuelans are doing, you deserve to get them shots, nigga. Mind your business. Let them white boys deal with the Alamo. That has nothing to do with you. This is your land. This is your land. The Venezuelans come from the continent of America. They're more American than these Europeans. But these Europeans that have you thinking that they're taking something from you. But these Europeans, they supposed to give your black ass Colorado. Fuck a complex. Why the Europeans not giving your tribe Colorado back to the tribes? Mind your business. That don't got nothing to do with you, because they want you to fight their fight. Them people is over here from the Americas, whether it's South America or Central America. They know more about this fucking land than you do. And they know that the European is an alien over here. So you got to mind your business. Real talk. You got to mind your business. Don't get caught up in none of that. Oh, they giving away money to the migrants and all. Nigga, that's your money, right? But instead of worrying about why they giving it to them, you should be worrying about why they not giving it to you. So they got you mad at the migrants, but you not mad at them. Once again, you're getting played for the fool. They have to give up the land that's why they're telling everybody come over here, because it's not their land. The contract has already ran out. So they like, yo, come over here, and it's called a buffer nation. Come over here and take this fucking land, crowd the land, take the tax money, take all of this stuff, crash this shit. They would rather do that than to give you your land back. Remember, they had to give a whole half of Oklahoma back to a tribe. Nigga, the tribes are you. Um, Monday, and I want to ask y'all this. For the month of September, who do you want me to bring on my lecture series as a special guest, right? Who do you want me to bring as a special guest for I do monthly lectures. This month I kind of took a time off, right? I took a month off because I had to do some things and get things in order and whatnot. But starting in September, I think on September 11th, I'm going to have a special guest. As a special guest, we're going to do a lecture. Who do you think I should bring as a special lecturer for y'all? I'm looking at I want to holler at Conjure Queen. Okay. You like B-Dell? I spoke to Asir. I did talk to Asir. So me and him I'm going to email him and I'm going to see what his schedule is looking like. Okay. And we will, Ross Ben, Dan Calloway. Okay. These are some good names that I'm seeing and whatnot. These are some good names that I'm seeing. Asir, Ross Ben, or Rod. All right. Okay. Somebody else is saying Rod. All right. Aline Bay. Y'all saying Rizza Islam. I actually shout out to Rizza. I had something that I was going to do with Rizza recently. He's a busy man. I'm thinking about Conjure Queen. I love the energy that Sister Roz Mariah Bay and the panel of goddesses that I did about a month ago. That energy was divine. I would love to bring a divine feminine voice. The sister, she's been doing her work and whatnot. She ain't all online clout chasing. She been working and doing her internal work and also doing other type of spiritual work. So, I want to tap into somebody who's tapped in so they could get some divine messages and whatnot. So those messages could resonate with my network, because I want my network to get that information. It's important right now. Phil Valentine, Blue or AA, you got Alkebalon. Okay, shout out to Miss Blue. I reached out to Miss Blue. How y'all feel about a Miss Blue special, a Miss Blue as a special guest on this show? These names that I'm talking about, this is for the Patreon lecture series, right? I'm with bringing all of these people that you're naming on as special guests. I can reach out to all of them to say, yo, y'all want to do a show? Let's chop it up. But I'm mostly speaking about the lecture series where we could put a lecture together. Okay, so the family, because I'll get in a lab and I'll get, I'll break the books open and we'll get this lecture going. It's lecture time. It's lecture time. Yes, Miss Blue is coming on the show. We're going to bring Miss Blue on the YouTube show, and I'm gonna have to reach out to Blue Pillar. You feel me? We gotta make it an early show because Blue Pill goes to sleep when the sun goes down. He's on his reverse vampire shit, and I respect it. You know what I mean? But yeah, Miss Blue, it's that time. You feel me? It is that time. It's that time. Do a lecture with Taj Tariq about how this is our land. Are y'all familiar with Top Cat? Are y'all familiar with Top Cat? Out of Texas, I believe. He's out of Texas or maybe New Orleans. He deals with the genealogy and whatnot. I think I want to do a show with Top Cat, and I think I want to bring him and a few other people who deal with the genealogy. It's time to give my brothers and sisters who live down south and my brothers from across the pond, like in the UK and in Africa, because low key, they're learning so much about the Americas by listening to us break this shit down. They're getting their minds blown. They did not know some of the hidden history about who we really were in they thought we all were just they didn't know that we were from here. They never heard of no shit like that. This is new to them. I remember when I went over to the UK, a lot of them was talking about that. They were enamored by the research that the Moors, because at that time it was the Moors that was busting their gun talking about we indigenous and aboriginal. This newer crop of teachers and scholars, they began to pick that information up later on. But Hakeem Bey, there was another brother named Umar, not Dr. Umar. There's another brother named Umar who we brought on Know the Ledge Radio. He was the one who put out 500 pyramids. He put a poster out giving you 500 pyramids in the Americas. He was one of the earlier ones. Horace Butler, my genius. We had Horace Butler on Know the Ledge, body and shit. Way back in the days, he wrote the book When Rocks Cry Out. So a lot of this information about us in the Americas, the Moors was busting that shit way back in the days. Okay, they was the ones kicking that off. I see the Duke of Tears, to me, kind of like spearheaded that whole conversation about us being indigenous to these lands, and giving you the receipts like that, the real receipts, not that TikTok consciousness, like real receipts, books, you know what I mean, research type shit, you know what I mean. So shout out to everybody that's digging in that bag. Shout out to everybody that's in that type of bag right now. No disrespect to any of my Pan-Africanists. Y'all can still coexist. Nobody's taking away your identity. Nobody is trying to say that that there's no rights to the Africa. And no, they're saying that if they reconstructed history, and if all of our teachers were Ashkenazis, nigga, right? If all of our teachers were hook-nosed small hats, and if the McGraw-Hill publishing company is owned by the Rockefellers, then we gotta unlearn that shit, because they was lying 8 times over. You feel me? So until we get some real truth, we just gotta ask questions. You know what I mean? We gotta ask questions. But Marcus Garvey never went to Africa. How about that? With all of that Pan-African talk, he never made it to Africa. You know what I'm saying? You don't find that suspicious? You know what I'm saying? Was he too busy? You know what I mean? But they was out here throwing cases on him. But yeah, and then they was throwing cases on him, you know? There's a YouTube channel that finds old newspapers from the 1900s. It's articles about underground cities and artifacts, giants, dragons, everything the Moors was talking about. Facts. Like, I be looking at pictures of the state fairs. They had these world fairs. Should be like 1908. The buildings were extravagant. You have the fucking Zeppelins and the blimps and shit. The shit just look extravagant. They had the version of Tesla cars back then. Like, what the fuck were they on? What did they know? You know what I mean? So they bury all of these extravagant buildings, and then you have this basic shit that we are in, these basic ass architecture, these basic buildings, all of this basic shit. But a lot of the intricately detailed architecture has either been destroyed or straight up buried and whatnot. Literally, World War I, World War II was about destroying a lot of artifacts. Outside of whatever else they was doing, they was destroying tons of artifacts. Tons. Similar to what the fuck was happening right on our watch with ISIS, when they was running through the Middle East, Mesopotamia and all of that, destroying shit. They ran through Sudan, destroying shit. They ran through Timbuktu. They was running all up and down, destroying shit. World fairs. You know what I mean? World fairs. Yeah, Tartaria and all of that. Like, it's so much buried information. It's so much to learn. Of course, we went to Serpent Mound, me and Blue Pill, in 2010. we did a journey to Serpent Mound, which is in Ohio, and also something called the Newark Earthworks, which is also in Ohio. And we was on like a vision quest. We went out there with Noble and Pooh, and we was on a vision quest. And we got everything that we was looking for. Our eyes got opened up, right? And when we went to Serpent Mound, we bought a series of books from their library from an author called Ross Hamilton. If anybody heard of Ross Hamilton, let me write his name in the chat room. Ross Hamilton, right, is the one. Some of his books exposes the quote unquote Smithsonian Institute. Ross Hamilton talks about the giants. Okay. Ross Hamilton gives you empirical proof of the giants. Yeah, I didn't see the movie Deliverance. Who initiated the pills? I don't know what you mean by initiated. You know what I'm saying? Like, who jumped us in? Like, is this a gang that we're in? I don't know. Where's the initiation coming from? I'm wondering. But if you want to clarify that question, I'll be able to answer it for you. Ross Hamilton is an author who they don't have in the regular stores, but he was exposing the giants. He was showing you the skeletons of the giants. They excavated thousands upon thousands of burial mounds all around America where they have highways now, the highways and the byways, right? Those were mounds. A lot of those were mounds. Henceforth, while when you riding on a highway and you look over, usually there's some type of mountainous or mound-like structure around the highways. Okay. Some of these highways were trade routes, and some of the trade routes would lead right into ceremonial or burial mound cities, by the way, mound cities, right? And also pyramids. Okay. Also pyramids. I went there too, to the African American Museum in DC. Look, they start off the museum in the basement with slavery. How about that? The whole, what they call and it's rightful, it is what it is, African American Museum, because African American is a new creation, right? As crazy as that might sound, you'd be like, what do you mean a new creation? It is a newly created people. And I mean, I'm one of them, I guess, until I change that. But I was an African American, with Jesse Jackson and shit like that, talking about yes, we can. But yeah, the African Americans did not exist in the 70s. It didn't exist. You would look at a nigga with an afro and be like, well, there they go. Well, no, they were not calling them, they were Afro Americans. It's a difference. Then it became African American. One had an afro and one was from Africa. You pick one. But niggas in America in the 70s was Afro Americans because they was wearing afros. That's like Jerry Curl American, flat top American, 360 wave American. Now you identify by your damn hairdo. Fam, you need more people. You know what I'm talking about? They obviously hiding something. Nigga, you need more people. It's a super misnomer. Elon Musk is an African American. Charlize Theron is an African American, because those are crackers born in Africa who are now in America. So the African Museum is Basuda. Okay? The shit is Basuda. It's literally a building that's just showing a bunch of people who got jerked throughout history. You know what I mean? Whether it was a bad record deal, a bad TV deal, a bad movie. It just got niggas' outfits and cars and shit in there. I don't look. I didn't even see the inventions, and they should have a whole floor for the inventions. But they giving niggas guitars. They showing you niggas boots, pants and shit. Michael Jackson's jacket. You know, they got Cadillacs in there, belts. They might even have some afros. I mean, where the fuck is the inventions at though? I need to see the patents. Can I see, can I read the fucking give me the journal from one of these inventors? Like, where's the intelligence shit at? They giving us albums and fucking cassettes and shit like that. I'm like, God damn it, y'all heavy on the slavery in this bitch. And I had to get up out of there. You know what I mean? Go to the Indian Museum in Staten Island. No, right by Staten Island Ferry in Lower Manhattan. That got more of our information in the in that museum, in the Museum of National History. You might find more shit about yourself than in some of these boule ass museums that they out here building and whatnot. Talking about, oh, Oprah this, Oprah that, nigga, and that's a sign not to go. That is a sign not to go. They are part of what they call Reconstruction history. Reconstruction history. They are part of the Reconstruction. They are not real. That history is not real. It's the same type of history that Alex Haley was standing on. And we did the show where we exposed Alex Haley was an agent, and he got sued for plagiarism for the book, Roots. Roots was a white man, a European man's book. He sued him and he won. And Alex Haley was working for the feds. Facts. So you know what I mean? All of all of that shit fabricated, a lot of it. So I'm thinking about bringing Top Cat and a few other people, my good brother Talik. They've been doing the genealogy research. They got bars and whatnot. You feel me? They got bars. They got some shit that we need to learn. So I'm thinking about that. Thinking about maybe on Monday I'm gonna do a panel and I'm gonna bring the brothers on and we're gonna get this conversation going, because I want our people to really be able to have some breakthroughs. Like, there's nothing to be ashamed. We don't need to hide no type of truths. You know what I mean? The truth is going to set us free. And we have not even reached a pinnacle of what they have that they hiding from us. We got to bum rush the Smithsonian and get them boxes of fucking information that them stolen artifacts. They stole a lot of shit. I want to see the giant skeletons. You know what I mean? I want the jewelry. I want the books that they took. I want all of that stuff. I want all of that stuff. I need to do one of those lectures in the UK with the wigs and shit. Yeah. We could do that. Top Cat seems like he's anti-Moorish. You know what? Because this platform, we cater to the community, or we cater to different schools of thought and knowledge. You could be anti-Moorish. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me at all. You could be straight Hebrew Israelite. You know, I'm gonna bring Tazariak on here. We're gonna have an interview with the Israelites. I'm gonna bring my super duper Kemetic people over here. You know what I mean? My super duper Kemetics. I'm bringing my occult people who really don't give a damn about nothing. My super dark niggas. Like, we're gonna introduce you to the different schools of thought and knowledge on this page, because this is Know the Ledger, right? And we're not biased and whatnot. We did the same thing on Blog Talk. We would bring in mad different people, I promise you, of all type of walks of life. We had Sarah Suit and Seti. We had Moors up there. We had Hebrew Israelites. We had Nubians in the building. We had a lot of different and we didn't have no debates, no arguing, no people wilding out. Yeah, we had like 3 crash out shows, but out of 700 something shows, about 3 crash outs. That's good. That's a good percentage. That's a good percentage, y'all. You know? So we're gonna bring all of that to the table, because everybody got something to say. Y'all in the audience, y'all are students, y'all deserve to hear the perspective, because as you can see, you could learn a lot from both a fool and a wise man. You could learn a lot from a fool and a wise man. So, Starfallah, I ain't gonna keep no information away from y'all. Y'all deserve everything. But just don't drown yourself in all of these different quote unquote ideologies and whatnot. You gotta learn, you might want to stand on something. Don't get pulled into multiple directions and you don't master anything. You want to master at least one thing. Okay? No, I'm not bringing I'm not bringing none of these young cats right now. No disrespect to the young cats. You gotta be, you gotta be in this shit at least 5 years for me. B-Dell is an exception. I don't know how long B-Dell's been doing this, but when I met B-Dell was like, yo, I've been watching y'all since I was younger. My father had me watching y'all. So B-Dell is an exception. Now, B-Dell, he teaches like he's been doing this shit forever. But I can't get with the younger dudes that just jumped out the porch. No disrespect to them, because there's so many people who've been doing this shit. Yeah, I would bring Q Reeves. I had Q Reeves in the panel recently. I did have Q Reeves on the panel recently. Shout out to Q Reeves. He's solid. You know what I mean? He been doing this for a minute. I've been hearing about Q Reeves before C19. There's a whole new group that came out after C19, after COVID, and that's great. But they got to get their fangs sharp. They got to get their teeth sharpened. You know what I mean? They got to, I did a show recently and I brought a veteran on the show, but then I brought a new person with him, and I didn't like how that show went. I didn't like the information. I'm not, the young niggas is not really doing it for me right now. Like, new people ain't doing it for me. There's enough people who've been doing it, and they actually are looking for somebody, they kind of like, they deserve a shot, you know what I mean, on the stage and whatnot. They deserve to be recognized, and they deserve to be saluted. So I don't want to skip over them to go to some new cats just because they got a little buzz. Nigga said, don't bring Nature Boy again. Come on, man. I wish I had moderators, because now you trolling. Arcades, he's an artist. I'm talking about teachers. You could be a young artist, and I rock with you. You could have came out yesterday. The artist is one thing. I'm talking about teachers, people who have knowledge. We be confusing the two. We confuse teachers with celebrities and athletes. It's been so blurred. The line, Supernova Slum, that's a veteran. Nigga, look, I go back with Supernova Slum when the nigga was like my weight. With Supernova Slum before the workout. That's how far. So we go back with Supernova Slum to the boosting era. Supernova Slum was a booster for around Albany projects. We go back to the low life days. Supernova would tell you the real He's real Brooklyn. He's original Brooklyn. He was in the stores. He was outside. He's one of those rare ones where I can't stun on him and be like, nigga, you wasn't outside. You know what I mean? He was outside. He was in the streets. He was out. He knows people that I know. He's locked in. You know what I mean? So he's different. You know what I mean? I was familiar with Merkaba all the way back in the days. I'm familiar with Merkaba. Me and him hasn't really chopped it up, but even when I was in New York, this is before COVID-19. I was familiar with Merkaba. So salute to him. He been working. Crumb TV, he been working and whatnot. Salute to Crumb and whatnot. You feel me? Crumb is me and Crumb been working since 2020 and whatnot. and whatnot. So I'm definitely familiar with the God. Big Stu said you need to get with the Tubi script. I'm dead serious about that. Y'all need to reach out about that Tubi script. Y'all don't see. I'm ready for the big screen or the Tubi screen, whatever that is. We got the cameras. We put a little budget together and feed these camera niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Because they gonna run off with your footage if you don't pay them. And yeah, Nuri Muhammad is a legend. He goes way back. Nuri Muhammad is stamped. You know what I'm saying? Star Kim. If anybody sees Star Kim, tell them I'm looking for. I haven't seen Star Kim in mad long. Is Bobby alive? Yes, Bobby is alive. Put Seven Bomar. He's not a new nigga. Seven Bomar goes way back. Seven Bomar probably been doing this for about 10 years. So Seven or Savan, who I believe is on Rich's show tonight, he's a legend. Pay attention. He's a legend. He didn't pop out recently. He's just not a part of certain networks and circles. If y'all understand how that goes, we part of networks. So when you get with the KTL network, when you get with the Black Magic 363, which used to be UGR, Underground Railroad, that was his original brand before he became Black Magic. If you get with the Sinetta TV, HOK, those are networks. Those are networks. Okay. And in those networks consist of groups of teachers and groups of teachers. And certain people don't come out of those networks. Like 19 Keys, I don't know what network he would belong to if you were to ask me. I don't know what network, because when we started out with Paradigm Shifters and whatnot. We started out with Paradigm Shifters. That was 2018. And that network wasn't connected to none of those networks that I just mentioned. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't connected to any of those networks. It was standalones. Wesley Muhammad mentioned the targeted individuals in a lecture. Okay, give me who's the targeted individuals and whatnot. Who's that? Dr. Phil Valentine and the Pillars would be great. So, everybody knows when we came up in this thing, the master teacher, the one that was running shit, was Dr. Phil Valentine. When we came in, I don't know about when anybody else came in, but when I came into the game, 2000, like around 2000, when 2001, like when the towers fell, it was Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemmett that was running shit with an iron fist. Okay. Not what happened in Chicago crypto. He's still working. He's still teaching. He's cooking and whatnot. He cooking. When I say an iron fist, I don't mean like in a bad way. I just mean like he had this shit on lock. This is what they call the DVD era. And they were the top. Him, Bobby Hemmett, they were like the top dudes for a long time. So when I say master teacher, when I say that, because the word metaphysics prior to the rise of Phil Valentine was not nobody was saying metaphysics. Nobody was teaching. He's the father of the metaphysical movement. Shout out to Thought Crimes. Shout out to Thought Crimes. I love what they do. I tap in with them and I listen to their show. And, I respect what they do. Yeah, Crypto he be live every morning. Chicago Crypto Block Bully be live every morning. You got to follow him on his gram. Everybody, like I said, it's people, but everybody is not underneath the same networks. So it's like if you're not tapped in, you don't know that these people are actually out here working and whatnot. Like I'm sure that there's a whole bunch of people that I'm not familiar with, and there might be people that I'm looking for. I'm looking for niggas. And they might be a part of other networks that YouTube don't even show me their videos. They don't recommend their videos. They don't do none of these things. So I don't be knowing if they even exist anymore until I run into them and whatnot. So that's how it be. Certain people don't even know that I got a YouTube channel back. They don't know nothing about that. Shout out to Nazir Ra. Man, I think I met Nazir Ra. Nazir was in Atlanta doing things like in 2012 when we had a store. I remember we had a store, Little 5 Points, we had a store back in Little 5 Points in like 2009, 2010 called the Duat. And I remember we was selling a lecture from the nigga back then. So he been doing it. Yeah, Black Dot and Malcolm. That's fam right there. That's family. They, Black Dot goes all the way back with us. So, but my commitment to y'all was to bring more people to know the ledger, more teachers. Y'all like shit like that. I see the comments and I see the views. People on this network, they like that. So yeah, no problem. There's a lot of new people to meet. There's a lot of new perspectives. Man, I miss Brother Panic, Still, I haven't even really sat with that real, you know what I mean? Like for real, so much happening, so much going on. It shocked the shit out of me when I heard it. Like I haven't really even sat with it and processed the whole fucking situation. But it's hurting. It hurts. You know what I mean? It hurts. His absence is definitely felt. His absence is definitely felt, y'all. Malcolm and Black Dot, the best fathers. I said that years ago. I gave them the fucking crown on that one years ago. Shout out to Professor Black Truth. If anybody ever seen his face, let me know. Yeah, the Azazel and the panic shit, that fucked me up. It was Daoud, Panic, and Azazel. All of the dark niggas, the occultists, the real occultists, nigga. Brother Daoud literally lived in the graveyard in Brooklyn. You don't get more occult than that. Brother Daoud lived in the graveyard. You had to go see him at the graveyard if you want to have a meeting with him. You dig? So he was about that life. And yeah, we lost some legends, you know what I mean? We lost some legends, or rather we gained on the ancestor realm. Once again, like I was saying earlier, people are ascending. Their frequencies are rising and they're ascending. And they're coming up out of detention. And we be like, oh, my homies in them is dying and shit. It's too much. No, nigga. Well, if you level up, you're gonna see them the same way when you got left back. And then when you finally got to the next grade, the homies in them was in the motherfucking lunchroom. Yeah. They're ascending. There's some ascension protocols taking place where certain people are leveling up and going to another level, and you might just have to meet them there. I don't look at things the same anymore. I promise you. But the occult gods is on the other side. Henceforth, why why a lot of shit is going down the way that it is. Like a lot of shit is turning upside down, and there's things that are happening in the news and just in real life that probably would have never happened. We would have never thought this would happen. But knowing that these energies are on the other realm now, yes, I cannot forget Dr. Delbert Blair. Dr. Delbert Blair is also accredited with stamping metaphysics, the rise of metaphysics. You started hearing about metaphysics and metaphysical teachings when Delbert Blair and Dr. Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemmett was on the rise. Occultism and metaphysics. They are the fathers of that. And yes, of course, C. Freeman L. And if you get into Brother Daoud is one of the fathers of the metaphysics and the occult as well, even before these names that I mentioned. He was a little more underground, and because him and Sinetta and other quote unquote vendors didn't get along like that, he was not pushed and he was not marketed. Because remember, like Cameron said, you might be the best, but you're not promoted right. So in this game that we're in right now, if you're not promoted by the people who were the ones who had the content, which would have been Sinetta for a long amount, about probably a decade and whatnot, he was in control of the Akashic Library. He was the one who was promoting the teacher. They were the King Simons, who was the promoters. King Simon will mostly be known for pushing polite, right? This is just not a secret. This is what he's the promotion. He's the polite machine and the polite promoter. He was the one who pushed. He was to polite what Don King was to Mike Tyson. But prior to him, the other promoters that were more prominent in New York City was Sinetta. Sinetta was a promoter. He was the ones who would book you to get on those stages. And like I'm trying to explain to everybody, prior to YouTube, prior to getting famous on Instagram and shit like that, you got your name by standing on stages and doing real life lectures in front of hundreds of people in the different boroughs or outside of New York, places like DC, New Jersey, Boston, and other different places, right? You had to get on the lecture circuit, is what they called it. So the lecture circuit, if you didn't get booked in New York City, I never got booked in New York City. Sinetta didn't book me like that. King Simon didn't book. None of these niggas booked me. A.A. Rashid was one of the only. I mean, King Simon did put us on a stage here and there. Shout out to King Simon. But we wasn't booked like that. They didn't book us. We had to book ourselves. You understand? We had to book ourselves. So that once they book you in New York, then the other promoters, because it's almost like the rap game, it's almost like boxing. It's so who could sell the fucking tickets? That's all they looking at. Who's gonna bring people to get these tickets? So the other promoters, like in Baltimore, right, in Virginia, you have little store owners, book owners, or promoter crews where it'd be like 3 or 4 people putting their little paychecks together, and then they'll book a nigga and say, oh, they booked them in New York. All right, well, we gonna book them out here. And then boom, that starts your run on the lecture circuit and you get lit. Like how Dr. Umar came up, right? Through the lecture circuit. He was getting booked all around different places and whatnot. You feel me? He was getting booked, and he took that shit and he turned that into what he turned it into. But that's how that game was working back in those days. So you just couldn't just pop out and just act like you was the man and you come up with this self-anointed fucking title. No, nigga, your ass had to get booked and you had to fucking deliver. Because if you was lukewarm and the people wasn't feeling you and your DVD wasn't selling, yeah, you was gonna get thrown in the trash. Niggas will forget about you. You get hit with the delete button. Get it you know what I mean? Get it how you live, but you ain't getting it on these stages. So if you fell out with one of the promoters, right? This is how they had niggas on the string. If you fell out with the promoter, right? If you fell out with the promoter, your ass was gonna get blackballed. You heard Dr. Umar first on KTL radio. Yes, Dr. Umar started with us. He was an early, and A.A. Rashid brought Umar out first. Yes, he discovered him in Philadelphia. That is a fact. Something that Umar does not give him credit for. But you know, I'm sure that if he was asked, he would, but he don't feel the need to say it because you know it is what it is. But yeah, he'll tell you. A. Rashid brought him, he discovered him. He brought him to Sarnetta. He brought a tape to Sarnetta. Sarnetta saw it and booked him, and then the rest was fucking history. So he went from being an independent artist, because you could be lit independent, but when you sign to the majors, as you can see with hip hop, it turns into a whole different thing. It turns into a whole different thing. So Sarnetta literally was the majors. His label was the majors. His House of Consciousness would be equivalent to Def Jam at that time. So you wanted to get on it. You could be lit independent, but you want to get on a major and get really turned up. Yeah, I miss the sound effects too. I miss them too, man. I miss them too. You know. Dr. Umar, the new black for 85ers and woke. Yeah, Dr. Umar's like Farrakhan to the 85ers right now. He's that, you know what I mean? He gives them every fucking thing that they need. He's the meme lord, you know. He's the 85er god. You know what I'm talking about? He's the 85er god. You know, conscious people, they might be like, I heard everything that he said. I'm good. That, you know, that's not deep enough for me. But he's the 85er guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? The knuckle draggers love them some Umar. And the thotties too. You know what I mean? The thotties let them some Dr. Ooh. You know? They let them some Dr. Umar, the conscious, the scrippers. They want to play in his beard. So, you know, yeah, 125th was the good old days. You know what I'm saying? I just be trying to explain things to people. I literally, like I keep saying, this shit is a documentary. This will crash the internet. This documentary has to be done. This documentary has to be done. He's for the 65 and older. What's the 85er? The dumb, deaf, and blind. That's the 85er. That's what the gods call the 85ers. The 5%ers are the cream of the crop. The 85ers are like, you know, niggas in your hood. You know? Niggas in the hood. You know? What happened? Oh man, I don't know. It's a lot of milk cartons out here, man. So many niggas going missing. I have no idea what happened to certain people, bro. But you know, like I said, when Def Jam fell, when House of Consciousness fell apart, and the labels collapsed, then the everything that was tied to the labels collapsed with that. If you haven't noticed, like when a label folds, like what happened when Def Jam folded? You know what I'm talking about? That live yesterday, that was me joining my good brother Knowledge Born Allah on his platform. But the way the StreamYard is set up, I could join my channel with another channel. So yeah, I had to go over there and show love and whatnot. But I was doing things while the show was going on, so I went back and looked at it. But yeah, those was the gods up there. They was spitting. They had to use the videos they was showing was kind of fire. You know, it's kind of fire. You know, there's gonna be a day where we're gonna tell everybody who has content where to meet us. Like we're gonna have something because it's time to I got a lot of shit in my collection. My archive is crazy, but we gotta consolidate the content, bro. We gotta consolidate the content. You know what I'm saying? We gotta consolidate the content. Back then, y'all were the new ninjas that y'all talking about now, having to earn that spot. Yeah, had to put in some work. Wait, it was 8 hours last night? What are you talking about? My nigga show went on for 8 hours? What the hell? You're curious to what happened to HOK? Like I said, the documentary. We need a documentary. Because if I say it, you know, if I say it, then it's like, damn, Red hating on his OG, because we came up with Sinetta. I won't never throw Sinetta under the bus like that and talk real down on him. Like I couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Me and him bumped heads and pause. We had our little differences and everything, but I wouldn't throw Sinetta under the bus and talk crazy. It's enough niggas that chew him to pieces and talk crazy about him. He don't need me to do that. You know what I mean? Any Daoud recommendations? Oh man, that's like I said, it's gonna come a day where we gotta bring all of the content together. He's a hater. Yeah, he's definitely a hater. He's the biggest hater, you know. But I read something in a book that when you hate on a nigga, you pick that karma up. Do you know that? Like I could talk crazy about somebody, but it's gonna be my karma. It's gonna be my karma. You know, it's gonna be my karma. So I don't want to accrue that type of karma, because I promise you, the golden era of Sonetta TV is when me and him was making content for about a 2-year strip, a 2-year run, 2014 to 2016. I would say it was the most pristine footage of consciousness that you could find on the internet for all of those periods. That was a golden era, y'all. So I'm not about to destroy that legacy or that memory or my contribution, because I put in a super duper contribution. If anybody was tapped in to the streets, to that Harlem movement and whatnot, fuck all of that other extra shit. Yo, nigga, that was the heights. There's nothing on YouTube right now that's fucking with that. You understand? There was none of these other channels. There wasn't 100 channels. It was House of Consciousness, Side of the TV, and like 4 other channels. We had the fucking internet in a figure 4 headlock. We was showing niggas around the world what it really looked like to be lit and conscious. Niggas never ever thought that they would see some shit like that. I promise you, niggas was catching heart attacks and conniptions watching them YouTube shows. That was the best thing on TV, bro. That was the best thing on TV, bro. You know what I mean? So Baba TV as well, who came through. Shit. And then Rich with his channel, because Sinetta put Rich on. That Rich is one of his partners and whatnot. So Sinetta gave Rich the quote unquote, he turned them on and put them on in Brooklyn and whatnot. And then Rich started bigging himself up and building up his brand and venturing into his and creating his own identity. And then you have Black Magic 363. You understand what I'm saying to y'all? It's a fucking movie. It's a movie. So the greatest story never told is everything that was going on in New York City for like a 4-year span. Not to take anything away from what other people were doing where they are at, but I need to tell this. This story needs to be told. This story needs to be told, because niggas is sleeping on the story. Everybody got a story. This is a story for the ages. This is the story about how a group of young melanated men showed up every day in Harlem because we were going to work. I wasn't going to stand in front of, I didn't get dressed to be in front of a fucking camera. I didn't show up on 100. I lived down the block. I lived on 129th Street. I literally was showing up to work because I sold clothes, my own clothes, Kings County. That was my own brand. Nigga, I was paying my bills. I was feeding my children. You understand? I was paying my rent from selling my own shit. You know what I mean? From selling my own shit. I put it on my own shoulder. A nigga didn't know how to spell entrepreneur back then. A nigga did not know how to spell entrepreneur back then. That conversation was not even being had. You know what I'm saying? There was no invest fest, nigga. Nobody was talking about they working for themselves and I make content. Nobody was a fucking content creator back then. Okay. Black Dot, I think Malcolm was a baby back then. You know what I mean? Black Dot been doing this thing because Black Dot was one of those promoters. Like when I talked about Sinetta being a promoter, before Sinetta took over, brother Shabazz out of Brooklyn, I opened a production, was the top promoters, and Black Dot was a part of that. Okay, it was a brother named Brother Chris, Black Dot, Brother Shabazz. They were responsible for what we call LIU era, Long Island University era, that was in Brooklyn. And then Phil Valentine had a falling out with the brother Shabazz because of a video that a dude named Mudra, I believe that was his name, and that was the crew of Bobby Hemmett students, which Panic was one of them. So Panic, Mudra, and a few other niggas, Rudra, Panic, and like they were Team Bobby, and then Black Dot, AA, Twins, and a few other people, Team Phil Valentine. And if y'all don't know, they had beef. Okay, forever. All right. So there was a split in the community, Team Bobby and Team Phil. You seen Pitbull shout us out on MTV back in the days? Word. I ain't see that. Shout out to my guy though. You know? So there was a split. And the Team Bobby niggas hated Phil Valentine. And some of the team, but the Team Phil niggas, they didn't hate on the Bobby and everything. They just was, it's you know how to it's the street niggas, man. We were street niggas trying to get shit right. You know what I mean? And then Phil, that's when Phil made a video called, if you could get this, called The Anatomy of Phil Valentine. It was like a triple disc. Back in those days when you went in, when you was going in, when you was in your fucking bag, you would come out with a triple disc. It's like an 8-hour lecture. But Phil Valentine came out with The Anatomy of Phil. It's basically his biography. He was laying shit down. And in that video, he handed the rights of his quote. Because remember, back then, the DVD salesman, and Sinetta revolutionized DVDs. He changed it from VHS tapes. He came with the new technology. He had the DVDs. Niggas was like, oh, how did you do that? We didn't know about the towers, the burn towers, all of that technology. He was on top of that. He was one of the first ones to convert them heavy ass VHS tapes into them skinny ass DVDs and whatnot. So then Phil Valentine said, you're going to go to Harlem and you're going to buy all of my material from this man right here. And it was Sinetta. And that's the beginning of Sinetta's reign. And he took it out of the hands of Brother Shabazz, which basically collapsed the Brooklyn promotion business. It collapsed. They couldn't stand after that. They were discredited, and it was lights out for that operation, and it shifted to Harlem henceforth, and that's the rise of Sinetta. So like I said, this shit is a movie. Y'all have no idea. It's a fucking Netflix series. It's crazy. Yes, Gathering of the Masters in 2000s when Khalid Muhammad ran down on Bobby Hemmett about the occult shit. He was like, nobody want to hear about no goddamn occult and yeah, that was one for the records. So the Gathering of the Masters 24 years later, because this one in 2000 was in Atlanta too. This was in 2000. This was in Atlanta as well. Khalid Muhammad died after that though. Yeah, Bobby was right the entire time. They was getting mad pushback. Do you know that they was getting pushback from the academias, the Dr. Benz and Dr. Clarkson, some of them? They wasn't with none of that metaphysical occult shit. These niggas was like misfits coming. They were like renegades with their information. That's how they saw it. Like, oh, y'all renegades. Y'all not talking about back to Africa? Y'all not talking about ancient Egypt? Oh nah, these are agents. So they was banging against the young. So Phil and them was young students back then. They were like how we are young, like we young teachers now. We kind of disruptors. They were the disruptors of their age. They were the disruptors. So Khalid Muhammad was on that straight up RBG Black Pie. He's like, man, get all of that what they call it, pseudoscience, mumbo jumbo up out of here. Similar to what you see regurgitated on these antiquated channels where they try to act like, you know, we can't be mystical, magical Negroes. And we just have to be some book smart niggas who just follow everything that W.E.B. Du Bois and them was teaching us. Like, you know what I mean? So that's always been there. That's always niggas been on Isaac Hayes the third type of time. That's always been there. We've always had the Boule talented 10th niggas, right? Who, like I said, it seems like that whole invest fest type of, well, let's say the financial guru types, they're more so like the talented 10th now. They're more so like they're the new Boule. Just look at what you're looking at. Isaac Hayes, the fucking third, bro. Charlemagne, the fraud nigga. Like, what are we looking at? All of these Democrat niggas, like Plies, nigga. So, what bizarre world did I wake up in? Where Uncle Luke and Plies are political voices. Like, what did I do so bad? You know what I'm saying? In a past life, like what fucking karmic debt that I did not pay, that I had to wake up and fucking Plies. You know what I mean? The nigga who came out with the song Becky, Plies, and Uncle Luke, right? The father of debauchery in hip hop. You understand? He's the one who started a lot of the fuckery where women is out here spreading them cheeks and whatnot. Like Uncle Luke, right, is one of the fathers of the debauchery of taking black women and putting them in the dirt. That's him. That's Timothy. That's him. I mean, you know, he signed Pitbull to his label and shit. But what the fuck did I do where I woke up and these niggas are the voice of black Democrats? Like, I know I'm doing bad. You don't talk about. I know I'm about to go roll around in the backyard. I gotta ground my body. I've been grounding my feet. I need to just roll around butt naked in the backyard and ground my body because I literally need to wake up in a different plane. This is not the right plane of existence that I'm in right now because they got niggas like Plies out here capping for Kamala. Like, what? What the hell? Where do you niggas come from? And who gave you a voice? Huh? So, yeah, there's different groups that are still on the if this is the chessboard, they got all of these niggas out here playing checkers. You know what I mean? They got all of these niggas out here playing checkers, but these are the new Boule. These are the new W.E.B. Du Bois. They don't like us. Let's be clear. They tolerate us, but they don't like us. They do not like us. We don't serve their purpose. You understand? We chase the money away. They don't like us. We are extremists. They call us extremists. Oh, them niggas is extremists. So once again, you got the woke niggas versus like how you had The dude who made Kwanzaa back in the days. Remember how he was hating on the Panthers? And when you really do your research, the Panthers, they would kind of be considered woke these days because there was niggas that was conscious. There was a lot more militant than the Panthers. And one thing about the more militant type of people or the more, conscious people, don't look for them to be famous. Don't look for fame around. You're not going to find fame. Niggas be wanting me to be famous, nigga. I'm not famous. I don't want to be famous. The fuck? And the word famous is fame, nigga. That's not desirable. It's not desirable. The Black Panthers, they made them niggas famous. You don't want to be famous. All of them people that was famous is coming home from doing 44 years in a box. The fuck? You don't want fame. That's a setup. So to be famous in these days and times, and you think that's a dub. Fuck famous, nigga. That all of these famous conscious niggas are memes. There's nobody takes them serious. If you conscious and you're famous, you're a fucking joke. You're a meme. They use you as laughing points. So please don't ever misconstrue fame from being effective. It's not what this shit is about. This never was about getting famous or standing next to some goddamn celebrity and whatnot or being on the front of a fucking magazine. What? Like, what are we talking about? That's not who the fuck is that gonna help? Once again, and I bring this up to you, and I'm bringing it up to you again. Give me one interview from the Vlad TV to the Adam 22 to the Breakfast Club to the World Star where they had one of your favorite teachers up there, and that made any one of them niggas' lives better. Let me know, because I remember Umar was more lit before the Vlad interview. How about that? Y'all wasn't even around to even know that. Niggas was more lit before they got on these things. So let me know. Let me know which one of these interviews on one of these fake ass channels that promise you fame, because that's the trade-off. I'll make you famous and you get on my platform and you stamp me to make it seem like I'm down with your movement. That way I sneak in. Niggas brought Vlad inside of our movement, bro. Niggas brought Charlemagne the God inside of the conscious movement. He came inside and he robbed niggas of mental health, all of that skeeter. Oh, this is about black mental. He wasn't talking about none of that before he ran across some type of light or some type of information or some type of, until he knew that this community existed. Them niggas was up there playing gay, him and Envy. They was up there playing like Bocce Boys and whatnot. They was up there playing like Lestat and the nigga from Interview with a Vampire, Super Zesty sleeping in a coffin. Zesty's the vampires. These niggas was zesty vampires. They wasn't thinking about no type of woke shit. All of these platforms got leveled up by our teachers. You understand what I'm saying to you? Facts. Lord Jamar got Vlad TV lit by talking conscious and bringing the information over there. That's what he did. He got them lit. Yeah, them niggas is zesty vampires. Envy and the other boy. You know what I mean? All of these niggas zesty vampires, and they sleep in a coffin with they white zaddy. And they only come out at night to industry parties. You see it. You see it. You know? You see it. Know what I'm talking about? Niggas looking like Pharrell. They don't age and shit. These are zesty vampires drinking adrenochrome. So I'm like, I'll do a case study. You know what I'm saying? I'll do a case study. The polite is the case study to show you that the whole shit is trash. You know, the whole shit is trash. It's an empty fucking deal. So for anybody out here doing a Meek Mill bunny hop, try to get on these platforms so these niggas could suck you dry. For what? You're not gonna get anything in return. If you selling a book, nobody's gonna buy it, nigga. If you got some sneakers to sell, nobody's gonna buy it, nigga. If you selling some fucking hair, some hair dye, nigga, some natural hair dye, nobody cares about that. They're not gonna buy it. You up there selling beard dye and shit like that. Nobody cares. Build your own platform, weird ass nigga. You know what I mean? Hollywood ass nigga, bandwagon ass nigga, zesty vampire ass nigga. Imagine me getting on a Breakfast Club and I'm sitting where they have a zesty flag behind me, and that image is gonna be on the internet forever. Fuck out of here. Y'all niggas is weird, man. You know? Everybody that was on the internet trash talking is in the trash. Let's just leave it at that. People is out here asking what happened to this person and that person. Karma, nigga. I told you before, if you talk crazy about people and it's unwarranted, you accrue karma. And karma is like a fucking it's like a weight around your neck. It will pull you to the lowest rungs of society. You wake up in McDonald's eating the motherfucking McNuggets, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You wake up in McDonald's, you wake up in White Castle, nigga, with them burgers on you. You feel me? In the white casket, nigga, with them goddamn burgers on you. Everybody who be on the internet talking out of the side of their neck tattoo, where are they now? Where are they now? So you know that the ancestors is out here washing niggas, mopping niggas up. Clean up on aisle number 9. You don't even have to do nothing. Niggas is protected. Are you serious? This shit is like this is some spiritual mafia, some spiritual mob shit, nigga. This thing of ours. Niggas is anointed. Whatever you say it's about me bounces off on you. Just look at these niggas. They losing their side teeth and everything. Like, you can't get on the internet talking crazy about people that's out here protected and anointed. That it just don't work like that. You accrue your own karma. We've been here for 20 years. I've seen a lot, y'all. I'm not here to talk about everything that I've seen, but nobody escapes the clutches of the karma. We all got to pay our bill, but you got to be careful. You got to be careful. You understand? Because you will get smacked down. Your own hands will tell on you. Your mouth will tell on you. Your eyes will tell on you. This shit is not a game. So I always tell people who's worried about what somebody else is doing, and I say, mind your business. Just do what the fuck you need to do. They're going to get taken care of. Nobody's going to slip through the cracks. That's not how this thing works. Okay? They're not going to let them through the gates. They might get up to the gate, but they'll never walk through the gates. So you worry about yourself. Make sure that you get through the gates. You worrying about what somebody else is doing. Yo, you can't watch where the fuck you're going. You're going to trip over some shit and break your neck. Stay focused, king and queen, because gossiping also accrues karma. Keep talking about people and, you know, you're going to get Kylie Jenner lips. You know what I'm talking about? Keep talking about people. Don't get into the gossiping. That's a form of isfit. It's a form of isfit. And once again, you accrue karma. You accrue karma because you're talking crazy about people, and then when you see them, you're showing them your teeth. You're going to accrue karma. You're not keeping it 1,000. You're not standing on business. Because if you talk crazy, when you see them, you're supposed to act crazy. Yeah, gossip is witchcraft. And if there's one thing these conscious niggas like to do, it's some gossiping. They come through with the gossip. They got the tea, you know what I mean? And the motherfucking tea be having sea moss and elderberry in it, agave. It's some of the sweetest tea that you can ever drink. Because I've told people before, you dealing with niggas with powers on some supercell shit. So the kind of drama that you get from a regular factory nigga, imagine niggas with rims on them. Imagine niggas with AMG kits. That's what this conscious shit is. This is niggas with powers, but the powers sometimes could be used for good or bad. So you dealing with supercell type of shit. So you know the tea is hot. You know the tea is hot. You know the tea is hot. You know what I mean? These niggas is on different planets out here sneaking around. They on Venus. They on Uranus out there sneaking around with green women and shit like that. It's a lot of shit to talk about. But you have to fight the temptation and focus on what's working for you, because you will block your manifestations. That's a fact. Yeah, that VVS. Yeah, you could block your manifestations. So just focus on what needs to be focused on. You know what I mean? I promise you. I promise you. You know, it's not a secret. The case study is not me saying it. It's case studies right there for you to see. None of the things that have happened in this community over the last, well, let's say the last 10 years, because they done dropped the RICO on consciousness. How many niggas is behind bars? They done dropped the RICO on you niggas. And I ain't talking about Puerto Rico or Rico Suave or Rico Wade, nigga. They done dropped a spiritual RICO on this community. And some niggas got buried and some niggas went to the big house. It's all karma based. So you gotta watch your karma. Cause it's out, niggas out here getting stepped on and you don't even realize it. You don't even realize it. Stop succumbing to your lower self. Stop listening to these weirdos. Okay? Stop listening to these zesty vampires. Just stop it. Stop letting people stretch your imaginations to places where you can't come back from. And please, oh please, stop experimenting with barbiturates and chemicals and quote unquote drugs disguised as medicine. Stop it. Y'all done took this shit to a whole nother level. Y'all out here doing cocktails, a little bit of ayahuasca here, then sprinkle some bufu in there. Let me get a few DMT tabs. You know what I'm saying? With a side of mushrooms. What planet, where you niggas going, first of all? And what did you bring back? You know what I mean? Because where are you going? Y'all are really trying to take off on some a SpaceX type shit. You out there with Elon and these niggas going to different star systems. Yeah, they think they can bother. I didn't hear nobody's bars get better. Y'all taking all these cocktails and whatnot. You did not body. I didn't hear y'all body the cipher. You didn't body the cipher. You're not coming up with new rhyme sequences. No killer hooks. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. It's taking away your glow. It's taking away your glow. You niggas went from glowed up to glorilla real fast. It's taking away your glow. You know, you're not healing, you stealing. You stealing from your future self. You stealing from your higher self. Real talk. I'm literally in Atlanta watching niggas walk around looking like a 2-day-old kale dried up. You know what I'm saying? 2-day-old kale dried up. Tattoos is ashy. Now you know. Now you know when the tattoo get ashy, you pass dehydrated. That's them chemicals. You know what I'm talking about? That's them fucking chemicals. So I said it and I reiterated. I told niggas, do not touch anything that come out of a lab. Straight like that. If you doing anything, it need to be plant-based only. And you should be fasting 24 hours before you finna consume the plant. What do? Casamigos and shrooms, niggas. Oh man, that's what we doing now. Casamigos and I told y'all before, 10 grams. Fuck a heroic dose. 10 grams with some fucking Casamigos and some Don Julio. I drank Don Julio, my nose hairs was burning up. What the fuck? And they out here guzzling that shit. What are we doing, fam? Nigga, I took a sip of Don Julio and my hair grew back. Edges and everything. Shit just grew. Baby hair, it all grew back off of just 2 sips. That shit was like hot fire water. That's what they giving to the wizards? Really? You know what I'm talking about? And then if you pile on 10 grams of some penis envy, yeah. These niggas is about to have Goku babies. You know what I'm talking about? Babies finna come out like Wolverine, Deadpool in this bitch. Y'all niggas is giving birth to mutants, and now I know why. You got super sperm. You know what I'm talking about? You done had some Don Julio and 10 grams, nigga. Yes, you are on alien time, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? You are on alien time. No wonder. But y'all be good. Y'all, y'all be safe out there. Cause it's mean in these streets. It is mean in these streets. What happened to Zaza Ali? I think she's low. She's working. Like I said, baby's walking at 6 months. I seen a baby talking at 2 months. It's literally a baby on my timeline. The little baby was talking at 2 months. Talking better than little baby. How about that? 2 months and the baby is making more enunciations than little baby. I told niggas before, we living in the era of boss baby. We are literally gonna see a millionaire 3-year-old in like, give it about a year. They got Chat GPT, they got mad apps, yo. Give it like 2 years, you're gonna have InvestFest is gonna bring out a 3-year-old millionaire, nigga. Facts. And they gonna be hiring. Like, I need workers. He said your homie took golden teachers and confessed that he buys box and he's a woman beater. That's yo. I was saying that with all of the shrooms being consumed by like hood dudes in Atlanta and like, street dwellers and knuckle draggers, the fucking potential for some Tubi shit is very high. I'm just saying. The potential for some killer Tubi shit is fucking there. Like, pay attention. Imagine a Tubi movie for a nigga from Atlanta on shrooms inside of Magic City Mondays. And he got like 8 face tats and he's convinced he's talking to a stripper, but while he's on the shrooms, she looked like a grasshopper. She's standing on how like the praying mantis be standing on their hind legs. Like he on the boomies and she like a grasshopper. He like, damn, these 10 grams, this case of me. I don't know what is it the case of Migos or is it the fucking shrooms? He mixed the golden teachers because these are niggas that got 3 color hair. Like they got the fucking dyed locks with the red lock hanging and maybe a blue lock here and there. So they're gonna mix the shrooms up too. They're gonna mix the strains up. They got a little bit of penis envy and a little bit of golden teachers in there, some B positives. Then they just have these. It's gonna be a great movie. I'm thinking a love story. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking a love story. You got the title for the movie? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We could shoot that in one weekend. You know what I'm saying? I got the casting agency. We could shoot that real fast. We get that, you know what I mean? It's Tubi. Niggas is shooting Tubi movies on their iPhone. They're paying no attention to the editing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to make a super duper high budget. You know, I'm just, it could be as bootleg as possible. We're gonna get better as we move along. You know. The nephew is going on 2. You call him baby genius. He's super smart. Yeah, yo. I made the call. I said these COVID babies. These COVID babies. Don't be a conscious guy while sipping Seymour's in Zone 6. Oh, that's a play on Don't Be a Menace. I love it. I love it. That's what's up. I like it. I like it. Yeah, so we're gonna do the shadow work twerkers. Huh? The shadow work twerkers. Huh? What are we talking about? That part. But yeah, it's gonna come out soon. But listen, family, it's been great holding it down with y'all on this Good Friday and whatnot. I would love to hang out, but I do have business that I need to attend to. I have some consultations that I need to do on this late night and whatnot. And I got to prepare myself for tomorrow. I don't know if I put the flyer up, but tomorrow in the West End, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be doing an event with Black Magic 363, Brother Rich. This is going to be for my double dutchers, all right? For the people who either miss the sacred art of double dutching, or you never did it and you want to be a part of that. You want to get, you want to get it in. You always wanted to get it in. So you was like, damn, they don't do that no more. Yes, they do. We're bringing it back. A little bit of working out, and also with a little bit of fun, some nostalgia. This is going to be a children-friendly event. Bring the children. Bring, it's not just double dutch. We're going to be politicking, chilling, playing music, hanging out. It's like a block party right there at Wadada in the West End, right off of Ralph David Abernathy, 1 p.m. until. So if you're in the Atlanta area, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Pull up. Don't be shy. We will have merch on deck. We will have drip on deck. Yeah, that will be there. I will have a tent set up. We got some music that we'll be having. We got these shirts on deck. You know what I'm talking about? We got the drip on deck. We got the music on deck. So I look forward to seeing y'all. That'll be tomorrow. All right. So with that being said, y'all stay dangerous, and we're going to end it with red and blue, purple like Prince. Peace, love, and light. All right? 1.
Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your 3rd eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land, focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we're stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. we gon' put this shit on our backs. Fast, fast. We in your city, pull up where we at. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Red, blue, purple light. Red, blue, purple light. Facts. Red, blue, purple light. Red, and blue, purple light. Facts. You can get to know the ledger. Sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger. My love, just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we're stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.